We really need to talk about Wicked. There's going to be spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen the movie, come back after you've seen the movie. So at the end of the movie, at least part one slash the Broadway show, first act, when Elphaba is meeting the wizard and realizes that the wizard actually doesn't have power and realizes that she's being used to kind of advance the empire of the wizard. So he says the one thing that unites a nation is people having a common enemy, and uses that as a reason to justify the reason why there are lots of things happening to the animals in Oz. We need to talk about the emotions driving that. One of the big things sometimes we forget is just how vulnerable we as people and how sensitive we as people can be to fear. And that fear is such a driver for hate and can be a huge driver for propaganda, the information that we're fed, the information that we absorb. And we've seen it time and time again in history, just how much fear can be so crippling and dismantle humanity and just completely just like change history, create like genocide, slavery. We are so sensitive to fear, and that is just something that we have to kind of have our like ears perked out for, to kind of not fall into the trap of fear messaging, because it is so prevalent even like in the most subtle ways. And it's crazy how like a narrative can get so twisted so easily because of fear. But I just also want to highlight that as like the reason why I think this piece of art is so like poignant and relevant to our time. Even personally, like I am not immune to fear messaging and the impacts of fear on like a systemic level. I think it's so interesting, right, that we can watch a movie that highlights some things in our culture and be like, wow, like love this movie, love the story, love Elphaba. Like we can be on her team. How quickly people can turn on each other when someone doesn't believe the same things as them or think the same way as them or experiences the world so differently from them. How easily we can turn to like criminalize maybe what we view as the other, but we can see it like maybe on stage or on screen and be like, that's not right. And so I just think that that's just super interesting and something to just notice and acknowledge and explore in ourselves.